Pleasant good day once again to my YouTube fans across the world. It is my pleasure and honor to stand before you to do another YouTube presentation. I, Imo Rameses Bakari, your psychologist and life coach from the magical community of Point Fortin in Trinidad and Tobago, located in the Southern Caribbean. It is my desire to inspire you to rise higher. It is my desire to inspire you to rise even higher. It is my desire to partner with you in 2025 to ensure that your life could be better. It is my desire to inspire you to continue listening to our motivational videos that we produce on a weekly basis. And this work will be done through teaching, through counseling, through writing, through motivational speaking, through our YouTube channel, through community work, through research, and whatever medium to ensure that the word is spread far and wide. And my motivational message for you today is that believe in what you are capable of doing and do it every time an opportunity presents itself. Believe in what you are capable of doing and do it every time an opportunity presents itself. We also take the opportunity to remind you of the services that we offer. We offer coaching services, mentorship services, counseling services. We also have ongoing courses such as the 10-week course entitled The Fundamentals of Psychology, costing $3,800. The 4-week course entitled The Fundamentals of Public Speaking, costing $1,200 for students and $1,800 for the general public. We also have a 4-week course entitled The Fundamentals of Motivational and Mastering Emotional Intelligence, costing $1,800 for students and $2,500 for the general public. You can also partake or buy and support any of our books. My book Conversations, priced at 100 TT, 45 EC, or 15 United States dollars. You can also buy the book A Tribute to African Civilization, costing $100. Remembering George Weeks in the era of the OWQ 1962 to 1987, costing $150. And Remembering and Understanding C.L.R. James, costing $140 TT. All you got to do is give us a call at 1-868-778-5141, 1-868-779-2544, or email us at leadershipwithadifference@gmail.com. Of course, just to remind you also, you can contribute via the account information flashing on the screen, via the YP and Patreon links, and through any of the other medium that was mentioned earlier. So we look forward to your support, and we look forward to working with you in terms of ensuring that our channel becomes stronger and better. So the topic for today is how to treat with crime. Now let me start off by saying I am not taking the position that I have the answer to dealing with crime, but what I want to advocate through this discussion is an approach to dealing with crime. As we know, crime has been with us some time immemorial, and crime in the context of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean has become a burning issue, a frightening issue, a disturbing issue, a debilitating issue, in that it is affecting the quality of life in terms of the free movement of people, in terms of people engaged in economic activity and the risk involved as people transact businesses, and the pervasive fear that people have been involved with. And we all know, as human beings, we cannot live in an atmosphere of perpetual fear, because life becomes really unbearable under such circumstances. The authorities here in the Caribbean have fundamentally focused on suppressing crime as it occurs. And we are saying, I'm advocating that more effort, more diligent efforts must be made in terms of identifying the root causes of crime. There are so many factors that contribute to crime. Many academics have postulated the crime is socially conditioned, people are not born criminals. We also know that, some criminals may have a tendency or propensity in terms of mental conditions that may drive them to crime. So the causes are multifaceted, but nonetheless, to address a problem, we must understand the true nature of the problem and how best to approach moving forward with the problem. So I'm saying in the context of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean, we need to take an approach where the answer doesn't lie specifically with the government, although they have a major responsibility through the various arms of the state to address it in terms of suppression. But for it to be more effective, if root causes could be understood, it will certainly drive a multifaceted approach and not just approach at mere suppression of crime. So the society as a whole must be fully engaged deliberately, constructively, and persistently. What do I mean? We need to talk with those who are committing crime to understand why they committed various crimes that they have committed. We need to talk with delinquent youths to understand the why as expressed by them. We need to talk with the people who are engaged in suppressing crime to get their perspective. But it's not just a case of more police officers. I will say no to more police officers in a vacuum. You cannot have more police officers in a vacuum. You cannot have more soldiers in a vacuum, more prison officers in a vacuum. So I'm saying no to these things if it's just that is the focus. All right? We need to engage all arms of the security apparatus. We need to engage with all levels of citizenry. We need to talk with the youths in school and out of school. We need to talk with workers of all types, farmers, cleaners, scholars, criminologists, all other types of academics. We need to engage the society to really understand and debate, research, discuss, strategize. We need to create a society filled with more concern for each other. We need to create a society with more opportunities for everyone. We need to create a society where crime is not placed and labeled and painted around certain individuals. As we know, there is crime in high and low places. There are some people given their status and who may be committing crimes. It may not be easily identifiable, but it does not mean that crime is absent. So we need to really take a deep dive and a deep look in terms of really understanding the ramifications surrounding crime, because we all need to live in a way where we can be at our productive best, where we can feel a sense of ease and comfort as we interact. It is argued that crime may not be totally eliminated, but at least we need to live in a society where people can feel comfortable to go about conducting their daily affairs, where they can feel comfortable, as many years ago in the context of Trinidad and Tobago, people would have spoken about leaving their premises open, where people would have walked the streets at any hour of the day, night, or early morning. But we know those times have long gone, all right? And we are longing to the return. But to return to such time, it will be a long walk, it will be a long journey, and I'm saying that those who are entrusted in responsibility for crime must understand that it's not just a responsibility to be dispensed by a Ministry of National Security, although they have a prime responsibility in terms of installing confidence among citizens. But more fundamentally, we need to have the engagement of citizens in a very, very calculated, in a very structured, and a very engaging ways. Because sometimes solutions may come from sources not imagined, Dealing with crime is not just the role of the academics, it's not just the role of the security agencies, but if we can really, create a society where we care for each other, where we are giving everyone the opportunity to fulfill their potential, if we can move away from labeling people, in terms like they have no way other than being a criminal, all of these kinds of approaches certainly can make a difference. As I said in the beginning, I am not proposing a master solution, but I'm proposing an approach of engagement, an approach of participation, an approach of exploration, an approach of transferring research findings into practical measures, an approach where we monitor and measure how we are doing in terms of the harmony, in terms of the ease of doing stuff, of living, and in terms of people really feeling comfortable to make the contribution that they have been ordained to do in terms of fulfilling their potential in life. We want a situation where people are not intimidated by the fear of crime, not to invest, whether domestically or from on the outside. All of these things impede the development of a country. We need to prevent the fear where people are fearful of interacting. And as we all know, the value of social interaction for mental and physical health. And the fear of crime, in the context of Trinidad and Tobago, many people have cut out the question of going out at nights, and that is not living in the most productive and constructive manner. So I'm saying, let us reach out far and wide, have the conversations, do the research, galvanize the society, because at the end of the day, if the society is galvanized and motivated and encouraged, the authorities may be very much surprised at the kind of input and output that they can produce in helping this fight of crime. So, as I mentioned a while, many times in this video here, it's not just increasing police officers, prison officers, soldiers, sailors, etc., but really, tapping into the collective genius of the society. And the input of every one of us is very important in terms of crafting a strategy, but based on the parameter of identifying root causes of crime. The mere suppression of crime will not address the occurrence of crime. The labeling of people who commit crime must be disbanded. A crime is a crime, whether in high or low places. But we must develop the maturity, we must develop the sophistication and the commitment to deal with this monster. Otherwise, it threatens to engulf us all and destroy the very fabric of society. So let us engage, let us have the conversations wherever we are. Let us make it a national effort, let us make it a regional effort, so that the potential of our region can be fulfilled and not crushed under the weight of the devastation that crime is causing throughout the Caribbean region. So thank you for listening. I look forward to hearing your comments in the comment section and to continue having this debate on such an important topic. So I thank you and I look forward to your calls at 1-868-778-5841, 1-868-779-2544, or email us at leadershipwithadifference@gmail.com so that we can continue having these conversations. Feel free to support us via the account information on the screen and via participating in our courses. So stay tuned till another powerful presentation next week, please God. Bye.